one of the great innovations of Doug initially, and then moved over to the Consumer Data Research Centre, is to run the Master's Dissertation programme. I had the great chance of being one of the judges this year and actually choosing the awards that we give out to a variety of different people. So these Master's programmes are, I think there was 18 this year. These are different commercial organisations setting challenges which a student and academic then take on and then send back the dissertation, and we choose to award it. So there's 3 prizes given out, 2 runners-up and a winner. And I should know this. It's a financial award, isn't it, Guy?
Yes. Those are the best.
How much is it? I was trying to get. Right, given the date, I ought to get it correct, didn't I? So it's a £500 prize. So the first runners-up prize, and if we could give it out, is to Christian Tong, who's did an exploration of mobile data and looking at proximity along passenger sensing on public transport. It was, if I remember, I was down Oxford Street. It was again, there were some fascinating bits of data that I was. So is Christian Tong available? Excellent. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Well done, there we are. Great, thank you. Well done.
And the second award goes to Jonathan Haycox, who worked with Liverpool University and E.ON, and he was looking at electric vehicles, and again, really prescient and looking at where charging points should be located around the country. I was, as part of the judging panel, I was particularly fascinated about the way we, again, look to the future in this point. So if Jonathan, if he's available, could come forward. I thought I'd been told he'd arrived, but he's, oh, well, we can all turn round as he walks back in, can't we? Prize. Well, we'll move on to the first prize, and then we'll give him his award. And the last prize goes to Ifan, I'm going to pronounce his surname wrong, Chow, I think, who worked with Warwick.
I think he's an overseas student who's a few thousand miles.
I know he can't be here, so I'm fairly relaxed about pronouncing it incorrectly. But he's on video, so he may actually see it. So he worked with Warwick and with Sainsbury's, and this was a logic model about how to fulfill slots inside different. So you've got various different time slots available, and trying to shift people to demand slots when they've got more resource available. Again, a really fascinating. And the thing I particularly liked about this project was the way he connected the high-level requirements and the business impact of a very technical solution, which I think is always the thing that commercial organisations are looking for. It's not necessarily how clever the technique is, which can often be the academic inspiration, but the commercial impact, and he clearly linked it very closely to that. So I think Matthew is going to come forward and accept the prize on his... Sorry? Oh, that's terrible. Sorry, it's on her behalf, yes. Thank you.
Right. For Vifan Chow at the Warwick Business School.
Yep.
There we are. Very good.
So has John reappeared? Oh, well, he'll just have to do without his photo. Does someone else want to come up on his behalf? No, we'll leave it and give him later. Yeah, thank you very much.
Good. Thanks very much.
And it's now time for coffee. So if we can make sure we're back here for past, ready to listen to some of the fantastic work that's been going on at the CDRC. Thank you very much. Oh, Jonathan. Jonathan, do you want to come forward for your photograph, please?
Come on up. Congratulations to Jonathan Haycox. Electric vehicle charge point placement optimization. Just what we need. Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
There we are. There you are.
Oh, I apologise for that. Thank you.
And I was obviously way too keen for coffee. And I was missing out Guy, who's going to come and introduce next year's dissertation programme. Guy. This is another illustration of why I so desperately need Jan around to keep things in order.
Don't worry, I'll try to be as quick as possible. So this is the 6th year we've been running the dissertation programme now, and it's really developed over the last few years. So I'm just going to briefly summarise what it is and launch a brief call for sponsors for next year's programme. So over the past few years, we've actually had 32 different sponsor organisations that have been involved in this programme with us. All they do is basically agree to spare some time over the summer to support a student, to have occasional sort of supervisory meetings, and they delegate the topic themselves in the earlier part of the year. And beyond that, the level of engagement can actually be relatively slim. And as you can see, we've involved ourselves from a bunch of retail companies. There's lots of DUG member companies in there as well, for instance. We've also had some consultancy companies in there too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a project on their own data. It can also be open data or academic sector data as well. But we've also expanded in the realm of the academics as well. We've had students from about 16, 17 different universities now. This last year was particularly successful. We had 160 applications for 16 different projects. And these students range from a range of different sort of disciplines. You've got geography, computer science, business studies, and economics as well, for instance. And with them, they bring a whole new set of skills with them, which often is particularly important to the members of the retail sector. And this is one of our main motivations for this talk. As you saw from the previous talk, that the younger generation has sort of got harder times ahead in terms of the housing market. They also have harder times accessing commercial data as well. So one of the main sort of implications of this programme is that we're giving students the opportunity to actually use real-world problems with real-world data as well, which obviously is a very, very unique sort of situation to do in that sense. And these students have a range of new skills which often are not very well integrated into corporations as well. So since 2012, for instance, we've seen the amount of software really sort of diversify. Things like R, Python, SQL now, for instance, are far more common amongst some master student skill sets. There's also a range of different incentives from the commercial sector as well. I'm not going to bother reading all of these out, but effectively, it is an opportunity to get a fresh set of eyes with a fresh set of skills on a problem which has been set by that retailer in mind. And these problems can be any sort of range of different topics as long as it's got some sort of academic breadth so the student can submit a dissertation from it. And with this, there's also the possibility of exposure to new data as well. So one of the things which we're trying to integrate for next year's programme, for instance, is we range a range of different sort of data services with the ONS or the CDRC, for instance. And often the student can sort of be used as a buffer to sort of get an insight in these new forms of data and what they can sort of bring to the table in that respect there. And it's also got very positive implications for postgraduate recruitment as well. I can see in this room already there's actually 4 individuals here that have been here before as students in the programme. And I think a couple of students from this year have also been recruited by their sponsor companies as well. So we do encourage you to have a look at some of the projects we've had over the past few years. One of the things we always do is we always get the students to publish their works and through these short impact studies, and these can be found as extended impacts on our website. So unfortunately not all the students could make it today, so they haven't all got posters outside in the hallway. So for those that aren't here, we've actually got these impact statements online which you can have a look at in your own time. They're also on the USB sticks as well. And because I'm keen to whiz through this, there's only really 3 core steps of engagement. So if you are in the retail sector, or if indeed you're also from a public organisation as well, you're interested in getting involved in this, there's just 3 simple steps if you want to be involved for next year's programme. For the 8th of December, and you'll see a leaflet in your welcome packs there, we required a project proposal form to be sent, and this can be something quite informal because we will help you draft something a little more academic if you think you need assistance with that. But we just really need an expression of interest and sort of guarantee that you will be able to support a student over the summer. The second step is to be around between February and March to review some of the CV and applications we get sent forwards and to pick a student which meets your sort of minimal requirements. And then finally, step number 3 is to hold occasional supervisory meetings over the summer. This can be something very occasional or it can be something very regular, but that's entirely up to yourself and the students as well. I know that some sponsors, for instance, like to have their students working from the office almost every day as if it was an internship in a way. And then finally, before I release you for the coffee break, one thing which is new to this year is we've got a poster vote outside in the main meeting rooms areas out there. So you'll see 10 posters outside, and they've all got numbers with them. And if you have a look at them between the 2 breaks and the lunch break as well, and there's actually going to be a voting box on the CDRC stands, and all you've got to do is simply write down the number, 1 to 10, which is on the side of the posters, and just put it in the box. And then we'll announce the winners at the very end of the day. So thank you very much.
Just to show that at the last meeting of the Doug's regular meetings, that one of the fantastic things was we were discussing the dissertation programme only to find out that one of the people there at the meeting was there because they'd originally been taking part in the dissertation programme, which was really great to see this whole process of development. I'm going to stop now and let you get to coffee, because I do know you've got to fill in feedback reforms at the end. And the biggest way to hit a feedback reform badly is to let you miss refreshments. So please go and have your coffee. I'll be back for 11:15. Sorry, 11:45. Thank you.